Welcome to the Hockey Writers Chicks and Sticks, a weekly show hosted by some of our best female hockey writers, bringing you the latest news, rumors, trades, player grades, game results, and much more. From talking hockey with NHL personalities to tackling the latest big issues, our team covers everything hockey and more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some Chicks and Sticks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 20 of Chicks and Sticks, brought to you by the Hockey Writers. My name is Melissa Boyd, and I'm once again joined by my partners in crime, Kristy Flannery, Hannah Garfield, and Mariah Holland. How are you doing tonight, ladies?
Hi.
Hello, hello. So if you're enjoying our show, make sure to drop us a like, a follow, or a comment from wherever you're watching or listening. And actually, this week, you guys are going to be very much involved in the show because you've been sending us questions all week for our mailbag episode. And I have to say, we got a lot of really great ones from you that sort of, run the gamut of topics. So we're really excited to dive into them. So let's get started right away with our first question, which came from Instagram, which is actually quite sort of wide-ranging. We could go in a lot of ways with this question. That it is, which player left the largest void on their team after they were traded to a new franchise or retired? So I will start with Kristy for this question.
The only player that came to mind was Wayne Gretzky. I feel like that's the only answer I can give is the great one. He had to leave a void somewhere in his career.
It's the obvious one, right?
It's the obvious answer. We're going with it.
He left a void in the whole league. Like, let's be honest here.
I think he wins. He wins when it comes to voids. It's Wayne Gretzky.
I mean, it's that running joke that even Wayne Gretzky was traded. So,
and there were tears everywhere when he got traded.
Yes, there were. Hannah, what about you?
So I think I misread this question because when I read it, I was like, oh, I was thinking of like just this past off season, like who left the biggest void, or like going into this season. I was not thinking big scale. I was thinking small scale. I was not thinking historically. So I was saying just, based off of this off season, which team from last year going to this year is kind of facing the biggest void. And I said Columbus losing Seth Jones because the hallmark of that team for the past couple of years has been the Jones-Werenski pairing, and now they've lost Jones. And I don't necessarily think, I think they're still going to be decent, and I think they have some, good young prospects. They did some good moves this offseason, but they're definitely, losing Jones is a pretty big deal for the team.
I feel like they were setting him up to be captain for the past couple years. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I agree with you there.
Well, it does seem like Werenski's ready to take on that responsibility and that role with the deal he signed, and just the way he's been sort of saying, Columbus is my home. So at least there seems to be somebody ready to fill the shoes, at least.
Somebody who wants to stay, because nobody ever wants to stay in Columbus.
Yes, good.
Poor Columbus.
Mariah, where'd you land on this one?
I did the same as Hannah. And I was like, oh, I guess that could go two ways. I was going to say Suter in Minnesota just because he's been the center of their defense for so long that it's going to be weird to see them play without him. As far as Kristy's viewpoint, I would 100% agree with her. Gretzky all the way. Even though I never got to see him play live, but
neither did I.
Neither did I. 96.
Well, I went historical too, and I said, because I knew someone was going to say Wayne Gretzky, so I said Patrick Roy when he was traded from the Canadiens. Obviously, there was also how it happened was rather controversial and dramatic. So it's a moment in history that will never go away. And obviously, we know the void that a great goaltender like that.
Yes.
So that was where I went with that question. So
Good
Hey,
roundabout
Mel.
answers.
question, it was a good one to start with.
Hey Mel, are you a Canadians fan?
Slightly.
She's slightly Canadians and Mariah's just slightly Minnesota.
Yeah.
Just a
slightly.
Just a little bit.
I will actually show my Canadians bias later on in the show. You'll see.
Oh, I can't wait.
with another question. Next question actually comes from our friends at the Grind Line. So thanks guys for the question. Of course, naturally, they want to know how we think the Red Wings are going to perform this season. So let's send positive vibes there. Make sure we're sending positive vibes their way. It's been a tough few years for Red Wings fans. So Hannah, we'll start with you.
So I think most people will agree they're definitely going to be much better this year. I feel like they've been collecting a lot of great pieces, making a lot of really good moves over the last couple seasons, and have slowly been inching, to building a more complete team. And I think they're good. So I think they're going to be a lot better. I think they're going to win more games. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. But mostly I don't think they're going to make the playoffs because I think the Atlantic Division is going to be the hardest division. And it's going to be too competitive for them to make that big. They would really, really, really need to make a big leap. And I just don't think that they're there yet. Maybe if they were maybe this is my more controversial, but I think if they were in a different division, let's say the Pacific, they would make the playoffs this year. But I think given the toughness of the Atlantic Division, they're going to be better, but they're not going to make the playoffs.
I like that. Mariah, what do you think?
So I've always had a little bit of a soft spot for Detroit just because I loved watching when Zetterberg and Datsuk and all them guys played, and Lidstrom. I loved watching them. Partially because I wore the same number playing, but I think personally they're going to do, like Hannah said, a lot better this year. I want to say they make the playoffs. I just don't know if I want to do that bold of a prediction after last week's.
I was going to say, you're the queen of bold predictions, so go for it.
Yeah, Mariah, predict them to win the Stanley Cup.
I can't, though, because then that goes over my bias. Because I have a bias with another team. They could make the playoffs and make it to the second or third round. I'll go with that.
Okay.
Wow. I think the boys are going to have you on next week.
That's a bold prediction for this week. Mariah, I feel like we need a weekly Mariah's bold prediction.
Yeah.
Oh, we need your money talk, though, so.
Yeah. Well, after your money talk. Kristy, how do you think Detroit's going to do?
I don't even know how I could top that. The first is that if you're not watching and listening to the Grind Line, you're honestly missing out. Those guys are fantastic. I feel like with Yzerman as your GM, there's nowhere to go but up. There's no real reason to be concerned if you're a Detroit Red Wing fan. I think they're just going to be gradually just get better and better and better. I think it's going to be a slow and steady. I do agree that it's going to be a very competitive division. So I don't see them making the playoffs this season, but they're going to do better. They're going to do better. And before you know it, they're going to be in the discussion for the playoffs, just not this season.
Yep, I agree. I think it'll also be nice to finally, I think, see some of their prospects get a chance. I think starting this season, it feels like they've been drafting so many players the last few years, and we haven't seen any sort of the fruit of that labor yet, but I think we're going to start to see it this season. So it'll be fun to watch. I think they'll be a fun team to watch. And like you said, Kristy, I think every move that Yzerman makes, whether you're a fan of the team or not, you go, that's a good move.
It's gold.
That's good. Yes. So I think a few more moves like that, and they'll be back on track for sure.
Yeah.
They're going to be a young team, and I feel like young teams, especially in this day and age, are really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Even I'm not a Toronto fan, but they're the first year when Marner and Matthews and when they were all coming, that was a fun team to watch, even for a Bruins fan. So I feel like they're going to be some interesting hockey to watch out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks, guys. Yes, and please, do watch the Grind Line on Fridays. They do a great job with their show, and I hear that they have a few awesome guests coming on in the next couple of weeks. So if you're a Red Wings fan, make sure to check them out. Next question actually comes from my Habs colleague at THW, Blaine, who asks probably my favorite question of all the questions that we received. I'm also going to probably show my age on this question too, but he asks, which video game do you enjoy playing, or did you enjoy playing? He asked, are we more like the original Nintendo's Ice Hockey, Blades of Steel, so a little bit more old school, or new school with all the EA Sports NHL games? So I guess I'll start with this question because I heard from Kristy and Hannah before the show that they've never actually played a hockey video game, which kind of blows my mind because they're really missing out.
I feel like we're gonna get kicked off of hockey Twitter now.
Yeah.
But I have to say I'm old school, Blaine, because I love Blades of Steel. That's a classic game that I played when I was growing up, and just it's still, even seeing it today is still like brings back such memories. And it's, it was like one of the first hockey games to come out, and so you can imagine what the graphics were like. But it doesn't matter because the game was awesome, and I remember the goal song was awesome. And anyways, great game. So I enjoyed playing that, and I also started playing the EA Sports games when they came out. So I think, in my opinion, I think NHL 94, and 95 are probably the best games. They're classics too. So, but I haven't played in a long time. So I think I'm going to leave I'm going to go to Mariah next because I know she is playing the more recent NHL games.
I have NHL 16, 19, and 20. I love NHL 20. And as I was telling the ladies before, if I didn't have a wedding this year, I would have NHL 21 as well, but money needed to just be spent elsewhere. And usually I love NHL 20 just because of all the different modes you can play. You can make your own team, you can play against the computer, you can play against other people, which I try not to do because I'm not that skilled at it. I'm still learning, but I love that you can pick players and make your own player, and it's really fun to actually be like, you're playing, but you're not actually there.
Yeah, the be a GM mode is pretty sweet. So Kristy and Hannah, we're gonna have to like get together and
We'll have to play sometime.
Initiate you guys to these games because
I'm gonna be really bad at it. I'm so
too.
bad at video games.
I feel like this is also a tie. We need comments on YouTube, like who likes what.
Yeah.
'Cause right now we're at a stalemate here. So what is actually better?
We got the old school
and the new
and
school.
the new school.
And if anyone has played NHL 21 or gotten a glimpse of NHL 21, do let us know, because I'm always curious when they come out if they're better or worse, or it's always funny to hear people get so excited about when the new game comes out, and then they're like, oh, this sucks. No good, and why did they change this? So it always makes me laugh.
22 should be coming out soon.
Yeah, sorry, I said 21, it should be 22.
No, I just meant like 22 should be out soon too.
Yeah, so, well, I know I don't know. See?
Is that the one Austin Matthews is on the cover of again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't this like his second year and like second time in like 5 years?
Yeah. Which also created a bit of a
drama.
Yeah, because there's no nepotism in the NHL.
Never.
Because there aren't like, hundreds of choices for that, that they could be, a little bit creative with it and stuff.
Kristy, one of the ones I have, I think it's 19, has Subban on it.
Yes, I knew he was on the cover of one. I have no idea which one's what, but he is on the cover of one.
I know Bergeron's on the cover of one.
See, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. I like that. Could you imagine just like them just like randomly picking out of a hat, and like one year it's like Matthews, Sidney Crosby, like Ryan Reeves, Tim Wolf, like it could just go like, could you imagine just the range?
That would be, I think it would be fun. And actually, I think our colleague Sean, who actually sent us a question, I think he wrote an article about that, this very topic a couple of weeks ago, how they should go about selecting their cover athletes, and I
They
actually
should.
really like that idea.
It should be like random, and then like the player can like focus on like a charity or something that year that they want to like donate to. There's a whole opportunity for that.
There is. Yeah. They can make it way more fun than they do.
Make it an event, make it a spectacle.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Let them be the GM when they are announced and they pick their own team.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then they have to play GM mode.
Yes, they have to do GM mode. See, there's a whole thing that could be that could be done here.
Why aren't we running the NHL?
Gary, call us. We'll fix this for you.
Or I guess EA.
If anyone wants to call us, we will be available.
All right, back to some more. Well, actually, this is more of a prediction question.
Which we're so good at.
Yes. So actually, we're being asked for our fearless prediction for, Kristy, you'll like this question, for Jack Hughes.
Okay.
Of the New Jersey, entering his third season.
Yes.
With the New Jersey Devils.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a big, great sophomore season last year. He, showed a lot of improvement. So we're being asked what we think his points total for this year is going to be. Kristy, I'll start with you.
Okay, to break it down and do some background. In his rookie season, he played in 61 games and he had 21 points. Last season, he played in 56 games and he had 31 points. The addition is that he potentially could be playing with Tatar this season, which gives him an added benefit for a winger. So if we're talking, 82 games? I don't know if it's fearless. I don't know. That word kind of scares me a little bit. Maybe I am being fearless. I don't know. I was going to say maybe 65 to 75 range. Is that realistic or is that idiotic?
That's fearless.
I'm not really sure where we're going with that.
It's definitely fearless. Yeah. If he gets there to 65, 75, he would establish himself as like very legit. So,
yeah, maybe 60 to 75. I'll drop 5 points. 60, 75. That's where I'm gonna stay.
Okay. Hannah?
I also was thinking, 65, 75 range. Yes. So look at us go, Kristy.
Look at us go.
I think I was like, let's be bold. Like, I feel like he keeps stepping it up. He's a very talented hockey player. Mm-hmm. He's still young. I think he's only 20 years old. Like, he's a baby.
He is a baby.
So I think, and this is a contract year for him, and a lot of players do see big jumps in contract years and their points. So I think he's gonna I think this is the year he comes in and he establishes himself in the league. Maybe he even plays in the Olympics this year. And really, I think this is good. I think this is the year of Jack Hughes.
And he put on a lot of muscle, which was really important to his game, because that was one of the kind of like the issues his rookie season, and he's putting on a lot of muscle. So,
Mariah, what do you think?
So I was gonna say 70, but now I feel like I need to go higher because of you. So instead of 65, 75, I'll go 70, 80. I'll do it.
Yeah. See, we can always count. She's our fearless predictor right here.
Yeah.
On this show.
Our bold one.
Yeah.
Well, I was a little bit lower than that. I said.
Somebody has to be.
Yeah.
I said 55 to 68 points was my. Okay. I know that's not super fearless, but he's definitely somebody like if I was playing fantasy. If I was in a fantasy league, he's somebody that I would pick in my middle rounds as my, that, what, I'm going to take a chance with this guy. And then everybody would be like, what? You picked him so soon? Yeah. But yeah, I think he's due for a big year for sure.
Yeah. If he's going to be, kind of the next great talent, like one of the next, high talents in the NHL, it's not a make or break year or anything. Again, he's still young, but this is still third year is kind of an important year to start to establish yourself in the league.
Yeah. And I think it's important that when you're a first overall pick, there's a lot of pressure, especially on a kid that's 18, 19 years old. Mm-hmm. And not every player is going to be a Conor McDavid. Like not every player, if you put him on a team with not a lot of talent, is going to carry a team. So you also have to think of who he's going to be playing with when you put into his expectations.
Yeah, agreed. And like he showed a lot of improvement in year 2 compared to year 1.
100%.
So I mean, if he continues on that trajectory, he's gonna be just fine.
All right.
So the next question is, as I mentioned earlier, comes from Sean Filatelli, who is a member of our Blackhawks team at THW and also can be seen on Blackhawks Banter every Tuesday. So Sean asks, was I think the hardest question for me, because I had to really look at the standings for this one. He asked which team, compared to last season, which team will experience the greatest year-over-year jump in the standings, and which one will drop the most compared to last season? So Hannah, we'll start with you for this one.
Oh, so for gain, I said Chicago, which I guess kind of goes along with what we were talking about last week with which team I thought had improved the most. And I still think Chicago has improved the most this offseason. So I think they're going to see one of the biggest drums, mainly because I think they weren't a playoff team last year, and I think they are going to be a playoff team this year. Biggest drop. I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. Again, like they're getting older. I don't know. I'm less confident that they're gonna make the playoffs. Because I also think, I think the Atlantic's the toughest division, but the Metropolitan division's also really, really tight. And I think Rangers, the Devils, Philly, they all got a lot better this offseason. And I don't necessarily think Pittsburgh did. I mean, any team that has Crosby is never going to be counted out, but I do think they're going to drop this year.
I like it. Mariah, what do you think?
I'm going bold again. Because I was thinking about it and I was like, I think the biggest gain, honestly, is going to be Arizona.
I like that.
Well, they kind of, hard to, be worse. So.
Well, it was either them or Buffalo, but I was like, I don't know how well, no offense to Buffalo or Sabre Scoop, but I don't know how well they're going to do this year.
I like Arizona. Yeah.
So biggest drop. I hate to say it because I kind of like them, but Vegas, because Fleury left. And I just think that he's a player that can leave a big void on a team.
For sure. Sure.
That's mine.
I like them. They're not so bold. Not so bold. Good. Kristy, what do you think?
Biggest gain, I'm going to say Philadelphia. I feel like they're going to either really improve or the team's just going to get blown up. There's like no in between, but I think they're going to do a lot better. And as far as flop, I was actually thinking Pittsburgh. So Hannah and I are completely on the same page this week. But I'll do my second. Dean's going to hate me. I'm going to say the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't even know what to say after that, except I'm sorry.
It's their payback for the offer sheet. That's how I
They're definitely not going to be number one in the division.
I don't think they're going to be number one. I don't think they're going to fall out and not be in the playoffs, but they finished at the top of their division, and I don't see them sustaining that this year. So I'm going to say that they're going to drop to maybe like the 4th, maybe 5th. I don't know, 4th.
I like it. So for me, biggest gain I think will be the LA Kings.
Good one.
I've been sort of singing their praises for a few weeks on this show. I really like what Rob Blake did in the offseason. And I think they're sort of just coming into their own with their young players, and they've added some veterans in there. So I think they'll have a big gain and really fight for a playoff spot. And for the biggest drop, well, this is where my Canadiens bias is going to come in. I have to say Toronto.
Somebody had to say it.
Yeah, I know. You can, yes, Lisa, you can put those on me. I think we've said it all show long that the Atlantic Division is so tough, and there's going to be a team in the Atlantic Division, just like in the Metro, that's not going to make the playoffs. That's going to make you go, whoa, like, and I think, yeah, I don't know. I just have a feeling. And also I was actually, I went back and looked at the signings from last year, and I kind of forgot how well Toronto did in the Canadian division last year. Like their record was crazy good.
It was.
So I just think just based on that too, I just think there's going to be a drop. So sorry, Sean. I know Sean is also a Leafs fan, so he's not going to like my answer for that. But
do we think Edmonton's going to be a big drop? Because they finished in the North Division second behind Toronto.
yeah, I think they were. I had sort of thought of them as well. But
I did too.
It's hard actually to think for the Canadian teams because they played them against each other pretty
And
much.
the Pacific,
So
yeah. And the
it was
Pacific's
hard to
not a
sort of-
strong division.
yeah, so it was hard to gauge sort of how good they actually were, like the Canadian teams were, I felt. So yeah, it'll be a big test for every Canadian team this year, I think is for sure.
Which team do you think is closer to a Stanley Cup, Edmonton or Toronto?
Well,
And which city burns down if they don't make the playoffs this year?
Toronto.
Toronto burns down if they don't make the playoffs, definitely.
I think Toronto's closer though than Edmonton, right?
I think Toronto's closer, yeah.
Okay.
I would
think
say
we're
the
all
same.
closer. Yeah.
And
Toronto's by far burning to the ground first.
I feel like once they break their playoff curse,
It's on.
then they'll be contending again. But it's to get over that hurdle that they just can't seem to do no matter what.
I feel like that city is going to go insane. If they make it to the Stanley Cup final, it's going to be insane.
Well, you can already sort of feel the pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and the season training camp hasn't even started yet. So,
Another question. I'm turning this into Hannah's mailbag.
just
Does Conor McDavid win a Stanley Cup in Edmonton? Or does he leave?
I think it's too early to I think it's
Mariah, you're bold. What are we going with?
Not fair.
Don't put me on the spot like that.
No, I'm gonna say
No.
he doesn't.
I'm going to say no too.
I'm gonna say no,
But
but
I hope
think
he comes down here.
I'm gonna say no, but I think he stays in it.
That's what I
he's
think too.
gonna stay.
Mhm. Hannah, what do you think? It's your
Yeah,
question.
Hannah,
What do you think?
Answer your own questions.
turn
I
it
don't
on
think
me.
I don't think so. I think if they continue as they've been and they can't build around him in the next 2-3 years, I would not blame him to want a trade if they can't. Like they've had an opportunity. They've had the best player in the league on their team for 5 years now, and they can't get beyond the second round of the playoffs.
But
Arguably the two
yeah.
best players in the league.
Yeah, too.
Yeah.
Now with the salary cap though, if he wanted a trade, where is he going?
Kristy, you
Mhm.
stole my question. I was just gonna say that. What team
Oh, I'm
is he
sorry.
gonna go to?
I'm sorry. Yeah, because like, where is he going to go? Because he's not going to leave Edmonton and go to a Buffalo. And
No.
any team that's a competitor, they're not going to be able to pay him. So where would Conor McDavid go?
I think too early to tell, but also, 3-4 years. I'm not saying this is happening at the end of this season. The salary cap could go up at some point.
She wants it to.
Maybe.
Let's just make the grind line really happy and say 3 to 4 years from now, Yzerman's still GM. Detroit's a contending
Yeah.
team. And Yzerman somehow pulls Conor McDavid into the Detroit, and that's where he wins his first cup.
If
There you
anyone's
go.
gonna do it, he will.
Or he goes to Pittsburgh and replaces Crosby.
Why do you have to do that?
I don't
Pittsburgh
know.
needs a rebuild. They can't just go from one superstar to the next. They need to suffer like everybody else.
But it's Pittsburgh.
But it's Mario Lemieux, and it's I don't know. I don't know why that thought just came across my mind just now.
Well, what about
Sorry for the
Washington?
off-topic discussion. It just we're on the point. We're on the questions. Let's.
It's interesting. See, the Canadian teams are very interesting to talk about. See,
Mhm.
we just sent Canada up in flames just now with these topics. All right, so Mariah mentioned Vegas earlier. and the loss of Marc-Andre Fleury. So we have a question from Instagram asking us how we think Robin Lehner is going to do as the new #1 goalie in Vegas. Mariah, we'll start with you since you like.
Ooh. So I don't know. I really like him just because of how outspoken he is and just like the mental health side that he's always talking about. And I really like that. But as a goalie, that can be an extremely difficult thing to deal with, obviously, because you're the main person on the team that can stop goals. Do we even know who his backup is? We always had problems with backup.
Yes,
goalies.
they got a new backup, Laurent Brossois from Winnipeg.
100 points for Mel for knowing that.
I was like, I know it is, and then it came to
Is he Mel? Has he played? Or
Yeah.
is he just
yeah.
straight
So
up
he was
backup?
Connor Hellebuck's backup in Winnipeg
Okay.
for several years.
Okay, I didn't really.
He's a proven backup, yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
so then if he has that, I think he could do well, because knowing you have a strong backup behind you kind of probably pushes you to play better. So I think he'll do well.
Kristy, what do you think?
I think he'll do well. You have to add into consideration too, look at Vegas, the defense on Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's going to have a lot of help in front of him. So I think he's going to be just fine. I mean, I think it's hard to kind of step into like Marc-Andre Fleury's shoes, but I think on his own merit, I think I wouldn't be worried if I was a Vegas fan. I wouldn't be worried about the goaltending.
Yeah. Hannah?
I like him a lot. I think he'll do okay. I don't know. I feel like there's some question marks there because I think when he's had his best seasons, he's played more in a tandem position.
Mm-hmm.
More like, 40, 50 games and not, I feel like I feel like I have more I think he'll be okay, but I'm not certain. I think he's a great goaltender. I might be wrong about this, but I'm from when he's had his best seasons, he's been, in that tandem role more than having it solely be him as a #1. And that's kind of what it's going to be going into this season. So I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I think he's going to be fine. Actually, I think knowing that he's the #1 guy this year is going to help him prepare, because I think it was tough for both Fleury and Lehner to just with that tandem. I know it works with some goalies, the tandem really does work, but it felt like with those two, it didn't really work as well. And I think now that he knows that the net is his, I think he's gonna do well. And yeah, he's the type of guy, obviously you just hope that you only can hope that he succeeds, like for everything that he does to raise awareness for mental health. So
Yeah.
What a great,
sure.
a great guy.
Yeah, for sure. So apparently you guys do watch the show, because you did even send us in some rapid fire questions, which is a tradition, as you all know, here at Chicks. So we appreciate that. They're a little bit different than what we usually ask our guests, so we're excited to be put on the hot seat for our own rapid fire round with us. So I'll start. What show are you currently binging, Kristy?
Sons of Anarchy and Revenge.
Hannah?
I just started grad school, so I'm not currently binge watching anything. I literally, I was thinking of that question, and I think I rewatched some New Girl episodes. I literally can't remember the last time I watched Netflix.
Okay. And Mariah?
I actually have it on the TV over there. Manifest on Netflix.
Oh, I was gonna watch that. Haven't yet.
It's good.
I actually just finished Mayor of Easttown with Kate Winslet. Really good. Highly recommend it.
I heard really great things about it.
Yes, highly recommend it. So what is your favorite NHL arena snack when you go to a game, Hannah?
Beer? Can I say beer? I don't tend to get food because there's a choice. When you're 24 and broke, you can either get beer or you can get food. And which do you, because they're both overpriced. So I go with the beer option.
Mariah.
I don't know why I cracked up with that song, but probably because I was gonna say along the lines of everything's expensive. I don't usually buy food there, so I'm gonna say a college arena snack at my college UND, Bavarian almonds. Those things are amazing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
And I miss them a lot.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a really good one.
Yeah, Kristy.
With financial freedom, I will do nachos and cheese in one hand and a glass of wine in the other.
There you go.
Yes,
high roller, apparently. I didn't think it was that much of a high roller.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay. Getting fancy.
I'm gonna say hot dogs just because the Bell Center hot dogs absolutely rock for whatever reason.
Ooh, I gotta try that next time I go.
They are awesome. So I say it. What is currently playing on your iPod? Mariah.
Nickelback. It doesn't matter what song, just Nickelback.
Oh, interesting.
I like that. I saw it in
Kristy?
concert. Currently it's Bleeded Out by Linkin Park.
Hannah.
Halloween by Phoebe Bridgers.
Me, it's Demi Lovato's new album.
Is it good?
It is very good.
Oh,
It
okay.
is. You have to be in a certain state to listen to it,
Okay.
but definitely it's very good. To match your favorite arena snack, what is your game day outfit, your go-to game day outfit? Kristy, I'll start with you because I know this is
my moment.
Yeah,
This is my moment to shine.
Okay.
And this is going to be very specific. Depending on the weather and where we're at in the season, it's either a baseball cap or a beanie, jersey, denim jacket, leggings or ripped jeans, over the knee boots or heels. That's it. That's the uniform.
Stylish.
That is the uniform for 82 games.
My answer is not this elaborate. Okay. Hannah.
I also typically wear a jean jacket.
Hannah, we're so on the same page.
And then I have my favorite pair of black jeans that have a rip over the knee.
Mariah.
The jersey sitting behind me and anything with a logo on it for the team. Hat, jacket, I own a lot.
See, me and Mariah are the same. Because I'm like, it's my chance to actually wear my gear in public, No, me, it's my Carey Price jersey with my favorite jeans. And yeah, I'm kind of like Kristy on the ball cap thing. It depends when it is in the season. Sometimes, otherwise, it's my winter classic toque.
Yeah, there's going to be a hat. It's just a matter of what the weather dictates.
Depends which one.
Yeah.
See, I can't wear hats. Hats don't look good on me.
If I could live in a hat, I would. Beanie all year round.
I'm so jealous of people that can wear hats and they look nice. I feel like my head just doesn't work with hats.
I have friends that say that too. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a hat. You just put it on and you go on with your life.
And go. Okay, the last rapid fire is also a fashion question. So I had to for this one, I had to go back and make sure I wasn't missing any. But your favorite winter classic jersey so far in the history of all the games that have been played, Kristy.
You're gonna love my answer. It's the 2016 Canadiens.
Oh,
love that one. Love it.
Yeah, it was good. That was in there. Yeah, that was good jersey. Hannah.
2019 Bruins. I'm going biased here.
We're all biased at some point in an episode.
We are.
Mariah.
Well, I can't be biased this time because I don't like the ones we currently
I was going to say, please don't say it's a Minnesota one.
We know it's just strictly biased if you say that it's that jersey.
Yeah.
I have two. I have a first and a second. 2008 Pittsburgh Penguins, baby blue.
The baby
Love that
blue.
one.
Love the baby blue.
And the second is Detroit from 09.
That's a good one.
I'm also Detroit, but Detroit 2014, the red jersey with the print. So.
I realized when I was looking, because I looked back at a bunch of the jerseys for this question, and it's a lot of the same teams that played in Winter Classic
It's the
over
same
and over
6
again.
teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
has like how many?
I know. Can we appreciate though Buffalo when they had the royal blue?
Yeah.
That was a good one too. Buffalo had a good moment in the Winter Classic.
They did. I'll give them that.
They had a good moment.
That's all they've had some good moments in the last
fleeting
decade. And that's it.
I mean, it's
Hang on to
fashion and
them.
not hockey, but that's okay.
Doesn't matter. Fashion counts for a lot.
You're telling me, girlfriend.
Especially on this show. So you know what? Well, on that note, that wraps up all your questions. Thank you so much for sending them in. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed our discussion, and we'll definitely do it again soon. Another edition of Chicks and Sticks Mailbag. We really enjoyed answering your questions, and we love hearing from you. So as I mentioned at the top of the show, if you do have a question at any point this season, please do send it in, and we'll be sure to answer it and get to it. A special thanks, of course, to all of you for listening and watching. We're already at episode 20, another milestone episode for us this week. So thank you so much for your continued support. Be sure to check out all of the great shows on YouTube that are produced by the Hockey Writers every week. We mentioned a few of them during the show, but there's a ton. There's content on the YouTube every day. So be sure to check them out. And also make sure you're checking out all our articles on thehockeywriters.com. You're signing up for our Morning Skate newsletter at morningskate.io and following us on social media. We are going to be everywhere, and we're especially going to be everywhere because you know what? Training camps start in less than a week. Rookie camps have started around the league. It's super exciting. Hockey season is officially here, so you don't want to miss anything. And we've got you covered, all 32 teams from front to back. Trust me when I say that. And on that note, we'll see you next week.